Well, good afternoon, everyone. I know we'll still have some folks joining us, but I want to welcome everyone to our third Thursday luncheon. brown bag Zoom luncheon. Not sure what to call it. We're hoping that this will be our last Zoom luncheon. We're hoping to resume some in-person events in April. We've got lots on our chamber calendar. We have some ribbon cuttings. We have our 2 networking events will be back in April, and we'll still mask and distance, but we'll get outside a little bit. We've got some celebrations to look forward to. So we are looking forward to seeing everyone in person beginning in April. I want to congratulate all of the folks who registered for this event. Excuse me. This is 12 or 13 years we've been doing this, and we fill the house all the time, and that's because you are so interested. This community is so interested in what's going on, and I know that our leadership is pleased with that and responds to that always so graciously. So we want to thank our presenters today. But first, I'm going to introduce our sponsor, which is First Citizens National Bank, and I think I'm turning this over to Kevin Smith, who is going to say a few words to you, greet you, and then introduce our presenters and get started. Kevin?
Thanks, Holly. I'm just going to take just a few seconds. Most of you have seen and heard me introduce speakers at these events many times over the years, and we're always glad to do that. But today it is very definitely my pleasure to officially kind of step aside and turn this over to the newest member of the First Citizens National Bank team in Delaware, is Frank Reinhardt. So Frank, if you want to take over, great.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Kevin. I recently joined First Citizens National Bank as a regional president for the Delaware market. First Citizens National Bank is the 4th oldest national bank in the United States, operating under local leadership, offering a unique style of community banking with leading edge technology, personal and tailored services to solve any complex financial issues. Founded in Wyandotte County in 1860, the bank operates banking center locations in Wyandotte, Hardin, Marion, and Delaware County, with a local office currently in Powell and coming soon, a new facility in the city of Delaware. I'm honored to introduce our presenters today. I consider both of them friends. Commissioner Gary Merrell, who was elected to his first term as Delaware County Commissioner in November of 2012. Merrell's long professional career in the newspaper business began in Oklahoma and brought him to Delaware, Ohio as a publisher of the Delaware Gazette. Gary's always been active in the community and professional associations. The other presenter is Bob Lamb, who joined Delaware County as the Economic Development Director in August of 2015. Bob served in this capacity for the cities of Upper Arlington, Glendale, Arizona. Bob has a JD degree from Cleveland Marshall College of Law, a master's degree in urban planning and development from Cleveland State University, and a bachelor degree from Bowling Green State University. He has certifications in public management, Lean Six Sigma from Arizona State University, Lawrence Technology University, and the state of Ohio, and International City County Management Associations. We're really fortunate to have both of these individuals representing Delaware County. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Very much appreciate your kind comments. This has been an unusual year, obviously. We in the county have had to make some difficult decisions in a very quick fashion, and but I think we should all be very, very proud of how both the residents in our county and our elected officials have responded. I think Delaware County has done an unbelievable job. Bob and I are going to be focusing on the economic initiatives the county has undertaken in the last year, both in response to the COVID-19 pandemic and part of ongoing economic development efforts in the county. My colleagues best intent to hold back growth in Delaware County. We have proved ourselves to be stronger staff. We'll start with a look at how we did handle the challenges and the support we were able to provide to our residents and business owners, which is extremely important in an unusual year. Here's the start of a timeline. It kind of stretches out and kind of goes through the history of how all this progressed. As you can see from this timeline, March 19th is when COVID hit us in earnest. The Board of Commissioners declared a state of emergency that day. Which really is the governmental tool that we use in order to streamline our business. Contrary to what some people out on social media thought, despite our best attempts to educate them, it did not mean that everyone had to get off the road and hide from basement. Part of our response, we didn't begin to restrict our access to our building, requiring people to have appointments or interact with us on the phone or online. But we commissioned to doing these in person, those social systems, and we never stopped doing that. About 60% of employees were able to work remotely at the peak of the governor's stay-at-home order. I stress that those who were on the job daily as they go from the other time. So we never stopped providing the many essential services we provide to need. I'm not sure all counties can say that they did that as well as Delaware County did. And really nothing changed except for masking and safety protocols with our most essential services like the Sheriff's Department, our emergency medical services, our 911 dispatching, and our environmental service department, better known as our service district. By April, we were starting to get a better sense of how COVID was affecting our community, and we responded. On April 16th, we rolled out the first phase of assistance programs. We approved an $89,000 grant to the United Way of Delaware County that provided up to $500 per household that applied for help with rent, mortgage, and payments. We also launched a small business assistance program that provided up to 3 hours of free business counseling on financial, legal, and human resource issues. The $30,000 cost of this program was shared with the Delaware County Finance Authority. They've been great team members through this whole process. A total of 21 businesses were assisted in this program. We also launched the Dell Community Program with Destination Delaware, our tourism bureau here in the county, to create promotional videos for local businesses. We served a total of 12 businesses, and those videos have racked up nearly 50,000 views on social media. On April 27th, our county treasurer, Mike Ringel, and county auditor, George Kaita, announced an extension of property tax payment collections. For real property taxes, the deadline was moved from July 10th to August 20th, and for manufactured homes, it was moved from August 15th to August 31st. They also announced that no new foreclosures will be filed until at least mid-2021, and that penalties would not accrue on late tax payments if the property owner filed appropriate paperwork. A few weeks after that, on May 14th, we established a revolving loan fund for small businesses. It is seeded with a total of $3.25 million from the commissioners, the clerk of courts, Natalie Fravel, Orange Township, Liberty Township, and the Delaware County Finance Authority. Again, just an example of how various departments and elected officials work together in this very difficult time. To date, it has provided 13 loans totaling almost $300,000. This fund will outlive the pandemic and will continue to be an economic assistance tool for many years to come. We also had the opportunity to get involved in very direct ways with local organizations. On July 29th, we approved the purchase of a 12-person passenger van for Second Ward Community Initiative, a nonprofit organization also known as the Unity Center in Delaware City. Having this van has enabled the group to continue its valuable work with getting local youth to and from after school and weekend enrichment activities, and transporting teens to college visits, and to bringing meals to those in need. And then on October 22nd, we announced a broad range of grant programs that directly aided small businesses and local nonprofits. We awarded $15,000 grants to businesses through our Small Business Protection Program. So far, we have awarded 130 of these grants, totaling $1.95 million. We issued 23 grants totaling about $850,000 to a wide variety of nonprofits. These include groups like People in Need, the Delaware Arts Castle, Safe Harbor, the Delaware County Historical Society, the Kilbourne Food Pantry, and the Strand Theater. These are all organizations you're familiar with and you know the good works they do in our county. We gave another $250,000 to the United Way for the Pathways for Hope program, which addresses housing, utility, and food insecurity challenges in the community. And finally, we awarded about $169,000 in business advocacy grants through Inc. groups that help market county businesses. We're very fortunate to have the resources to help our residents and business owners, and we feel confident that 2021 will see all of them rebounding and rebuilding. And most recently, we learned that we were the recipient of $6 million in emergency rent assistance program funding from the U.S. Treasury. We are coordinating with United Way to distribute this money to those in need of rent and utility assistance. A broader range of people are eligible for this program than with previous programs, and we will need the support of the community to help get the word out once it's launched, because the money must be obligated by September 30th of this year. So please keep an eye out for the announcements on our social media when the program officially launches, which will be soon, and then share the news. I'm going to toss our presentation now to Bob Lamb, who's going to talk about the ways in which our economic initiative really did change things in a very difficult environment. We've been on a growth trajectory in this county for quite a while, and not even COVID could slow us down. In summary, 2020 was a year in which we dealt successfully with the unexpected, but at the same time, Delaware County committed to making decisions and taking actions to ensure our present and future growth. Bob?
Commissioner, thank you very much. And thank you everyone for the opportunity to be able to speak today to all of you. It was quite an interesting year throughout 2020. The economic development team, along with the Delaware County Finance Authority and everybody else within the community and across the country and the world, faced challenges that we were not expecting when the year began. We saw many projects continue forward, but also many get placed on hold. And so that did change the framework for how we were operating last year and even continuously this year. We did see some great projects, though, occur throughout 2020, even with the hardships that we faced. We saw some new jobs, new companies making investments within the community. Not as much in that front as we had seen in the past, but I think the important item to look at is in May, the county was sitting at approximately 14% unemployment. We started this year under the revised numbers as of the other day at about 4% unemployment. So we're definitely tracking better. We're seeing our workforce return to work. We're seeing businesses bringing back on the workers that they had to let go because of COVID issues. And so we're excited about that trend. We think we'll continue to see that move into a lower number status, hopefully looking at that 3.3, 3.4% that we were at in February and March of 2019, or sorry, 2020. And so we're excited about that. We also were able to continue to focus on several key development plans, both on the fiber side as well as trails. And so we were able to move that ball forward even throughout 2020, including establishing a 5-year plan for the DCFA to help guide its investment and its actions to help bring new commercial projects to the community, to help diversify the tax base and create new job opportunities for our residents. We were able to leverage CDBG funds, community development block grant dollars that are from the federal government to help with projects throughout the community, especially within Brown Township and the Kilbourne downtown redevelopment item. So we're very excited about that project, seeing that type of investment in that part of the county, bringing amenities that we know residents want to see, whether it's restaurants or new shopping opportunities. We think that's a great project and something we're very excited about. Also because we're able to work not just with a developer, but that developer is also a resident of the community and a local business owner. So it touches a lot of different aspects that we love to see happening within our community. We also began working directly with several townships, Orange, Liberty, Berkshire, and Berlin Township, on providing different zoning and development services to them through the Delaware County Finance Authority. leveraging contracts and relationships that Finance Authority has to bring enhanced services to those townships at a drastically reduced cost for those townships. So really focused on reinvesting in our community, leveraging the resources available at the county level to help the townships and other local jurisdictions achieve the goals that they have for their community and their residents. I think one of the largest undertakings that we have done over the last few years was the Berlin Business Park, as well as the 23 overlay. Both of those were successful. Last year, we were able to continue meetings, continue to move those items forward, and able to create 2 different overlays in the community that covered 3,600 acres of ground. So a significant step forward in being able to lay the groundwork needed to attract new commercial investment to the community. Again, focused on how do we diversify the tax base so that the single family homeowners that are the predominant number of stakeholders in our community are not the sole providers of the property taxes for our school districts and so many other needed services in our community. We want to see that commercial investment occur so that we can hopefully help reduce the tax burden that those homeowners face as we continue to grow and develop. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Kelsey Scott from my office. She's the Economic Development Coordinator, and she has been actively working on business retention and grant programs throughout the last year and has been a key factor in us being able to achieve the results that the commissioners and other elected officials wanted to see coming out of our office.
Awesome. Thanks, Bob. And good afternoon, everybody. I'm really excited to be here and kind of talk a little bit about what I really enjoy most about my job, which is that business retention and expansion aspect. Really coming on board on the county in 2019, I was excited to really connect with a lot of our employers in this county, and COVID really kind of opened up that opportunity a lot to connect with a lot of different businesses who really needed help. And I think that kind of the biggest challenge, and I'm sure that everybody in this room also had this same feeling of everybody wanting to help businesses, but the businesses are unsure of exactly what they need. So I really believe that the team and the leadership of the county did a really great job of acting quickly on different programs and kind of using that, and the leverage and the contacts that I had collected to really get that information out was key. I know that Commissioner Merrell spoke a lot to the programs earlier, but just to kind of dive in a little bit further with those, that small business assistance program was really key in giving our businesses the opportunity to get free consultation from a lot of really well-known experts in legal and HR and accounting, which really opened up that opportunity to kind of ease businesses' minds of what they needed to do to better organize their business moving forward, whatever that looked like, which I thought was a really great program. And as Commissioner Merrell said, I believe we helped about 25 businesses with that. We also led several webinars regarding different accounting services again, as well as some flood services from that terrible flood city of Delaware saw about this time of year as well. And we got really great participation from that. Another key thing that we did was we also created an email news.
Hi, how are you today?
Oh, I think somebody needs to mute. But another thing that we did was we created a news.
I did. So I know you're sending my dad home with prescriptions.
Are we able to see who might need to?
In there as far as payments.
Yes, I'm checking here.
Oh,
Someone.
here we go. I think it's Jackie. Sorry, Jackie. But we were able to get a lot of information out to a bunch of different businesses in terms of updates from the governor's office, as well as the updated programs coming through the county, as well as other resources from big state, federal, and local organizations. We had about 50 businesses subscribe to that list, and another really great way to connect to a lot of different businesses. With that, and I also want to applaud leadership too in acting so innovative in such an innovative way with the CARES Act money to be able to create that small business protection program and the business advocacy grants. It worked out really well, you know, we were able to rearrange some of our funds to give our businesses more freedoms to spend those grants how they would like. And I think that a lot of other communities took notice, and it made it so businesses were able to take advantage of our grant as well as other CARES Act monies as well. So it's obviously an easy sell, but a lot of marketing, a lot of email outreach, and a lot of connecting with those top employers to really listen. So again, I appreciate the time of being able to talk a little bit about this and kind of looking up from here, really reconnecting, especially with those top employers, to make sure that they're fully supported, and to make sure that we can address any kind of pain points that they're feeling either now or into the near future post-COVID. So with that, I'm gonna throw it back to Bob here so that he can talk a little bit about what 2021 is looking like.
Yes, as I mentioned, we're still having to address some of those issues that were caused from the COVID shutdowns, and our businesses are still struggling to get back on their feet, but we are seeing a lot of interest in 2021 and moving forward with projects that were either delayed or that have their foundations laid in 2020. And so you'll see on this next slide that we have about 20 projects right now that are in the pipeline that are either in a zoning standpoint or are actually moving dirt on their site. So we're very excited. It's a mix of commercial, industrial, multifamily. So we are seeing a large spectrum of investment occurring within the community, and we think it bodes very well for the future. And I think a strong reason why we continue to see that investment occur within Delaware is not just the quality of life that people can find in our community. It's the leadership that we've seen over the last year at all levels of our county that really has attracted people and continues to attract people, whether from a commercial standpoint, an investment standpoint, or just from a residential wanting to live within the community. I think one of the ways that you can best highlight that willingness to work together to find solutions that are good for the community is a revolving loan fund that the commissioner just spoke about. We had 2 townships, we had the DCFA, we had multiple elected individuals at county level come together and look at how could they leverage dollars to help businesses within our community. How could they do something new that was unique, that had not been undertaken before in that manner, and to put it in place so that we could help businesses that were struggling due to COVID issues. And I think that really speaks to the quality of leadership we have, both at the elected level, at the local level, the nonprofits, the businesses, because Buckeye State Bank immediately stepped forward and worked with us to set up a program that we could get up and running within 30 to 45 days. So I think it really speaks well of what the community is, the businesses, and I want to thank all of you, because I know many of you worked hard throughout that time to support businesses and your community stakeholders as well. And so I think as we go into 21, we're going to see a lot of great projects happen. We still have a lot of hurdles to overcome from COVID, as well as where the economy may or may not go over the next 6 to 9 months to a year. But I think we're very well positioned. I think Central Ohio will continue to see investment, and I think Delaware County will be the premier place for that investment as we move forward.
I have a couple of closing comments, and then Holly, with your permission, we can start to answer any questions. It would be unfair if I did not point out that the 3 commissioners, Commissioner Lewis, Commissioner Bend, and of course myself, we work well together, and I think we're very proud of what we've accomplished. And it would be inappropriate if I did not mention my fellow commissioners and the work that they put into our successes last year. And more than that, the staff. We have a staff we can all be proud of in this county. Bob Lamb's obviously an example of that, and Kelsey, but Mike Cromer, and I started listing them. It gets very difficult because I won't include everyone, but I'm going to stop right there. But from A to Z, we have leadership throughout our county that's really making a difference. And our elected officials, we have a great group of elected officials here who work together, who worked well together during the COVID crisis. It was never about me, it was about what we can do for the county, and they all should deserve credit for that. And a number of thank yous that we got from the community regarding our loan programs, the small businesses that would approach me, and I'm sure the other commissioners, needing help, and the belief they got when we provided funding, and the thank yous we got from that, and the nonprofits. We're very proud of how we handled the year, but we're more excited about what the future holds for our county. And Holly or Frank, whoever's leading, I'm certainly open for questions.
Yes, if anyone has a question, either chat or unmute yourself and see if we can't handle that. You know, I would like to say that I've been around a while and I have never seen an economic disruption that has supported small business the way this one has to this extent. And some of you who've been around a long time might agree with that. You know, you look back to the recession of '09 and it was too big to fail, but the little guys were pretty ignored and had a pretty rough time. And I'm not saying that small business has not had serious issues during pandemic, but never has there been a national focus and certainly a local focus on helping small business in this way. Did it get it 100%? You know, I don't know, but making the world aware of the importance of small business, I think, has been unprecedented in my experience. Do we have any?
In our meetings, we emphasize the fact that support small businesses as we come out of this. The big box stores, they've done well. It's
Right.
time to support small businesses, and we have said that in session any number of times.
Right. Right. And it's been, you know, for those of us who are surrounded by business, and I think that the message that I like to always share is that folks who are not in business have no idea what you all go through to open your doors. It is, you know, our manufacturers council, for example, will meet and they'll share best practices of what they're doing to keep their workforce safe and clean and the environment safe. People have no idea what business goes through to turn that sign around. You know, you look at our school districts and how innovative they had to get on a dime, and it's just what you all do is just Herculean. It's just. So do we have any questions? Anybody out there with the chat? Or,
Hey, Holly, it's Eric.
hey, Eric.
Hey, I do have a question. I had an interesting conversation last week. Gentleman that is moving business from Worthington up to Sunbury actually brought a couple pallets of PPE that he changed his manufacturing over to be able to produce at the beginning of the pandemic to kind of answer that call from the governor. And it was interesting because he told me that they did that change, they made all of this, and then they didn't have any outlet to get it distributed. So there was no distribution plan. And so he's kind of stuck with a lot of stock. I was just curious, and I mean, it's not my business, but he did make that donation to us. And I just thought it was interesting. Is there any help for those folks that maybe are sitting on stock that they kind of, you know, jumped to the cause, I guess, or, you know, stepped up and helped produce things to help, but now they have all of this in stock and there's maybe not such a need for it right now?
I'll take the first shot of that and let Bob comment. First, I've heard of this. If that individual get in touch with the county, we certainly can see what we can do. The Delaware County Health District is another person that should reach out. They're in a position to really theoretically identify where the need is and try to help out. So, but certainly approach us and we'll do what we can to put people in the right locations to get distribution. But the Delaware County Health District is certainly a place that they should talk to. Bobby,
Yeah, I mean,
No, I think that covers the majority of it. I have heard about this concern. A lot of people turn their operations over, created product, and then the ability to distribute was not there in a lot of cases, or at least fully for what they created. So we would be happy to talk with them and to reach out to some of our contacts throughout the healthcare and the public safety side of things to see if we can help with those materials.
I will share that with him. I appreciate it.
Happy to, thank you.
Yeah, and you mentioned the health district. Talk about Talk about a group of folks who stepped it up, right? Our health district has just been extraordinary through all of this. Any other questions? All right. Well, this has been recorded, so with commissioners' permission, we'll link it in our newsletter if that's okay with them, for those who couldn't make this or hear this. And I want to thank you so much for joining us again this year and for everything you've done and how quickly you've done it. And to all of you out there who turn that sign around every day and open your business and everything you have all done, from our agencies to our small businesses, congratulations on being heroes in every community. You're all essential, right? So we will thank you all, and hopefully we will start seeing you all in person starting April 1st at Stratford Ecological Center with our first business before hours in a year, I believe, and we'll be outside. It'll be a beautiful day, and we'll be able to get together and see each other in person. So with that, I will thank First Citizens for their sponsorship again, and thank Commissioner Merrell and Bob and Kelsey and everyone else at the county for joining us again this year. And thank you so much for everything you do.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Take care.